saying this to say, reach out to your support network. You would be surprised how many people, when you open your mouth, have been where you are. Angela, I'm gonna put you on the spot. Have you ever been there where you just felt so low, like ain't nothing going right? So, see, and Angelo, my new producer, he's been there before too. Like, y'all, it's okay. Like, life be lifing. If y'all knew everything that happened to me between June to now, y'all be like, how the heck is she still standing? And what I'm going to tell y'all is the Lord has a way of surrounding you with the people that you need. I have a wonderful, wonderful core group in my village. Um, I can't see. Uh, hey Nathan. Um, I have a really good village, and I don't care come hell or high water. Somebody in the village got me. When I was jobless, somebody had me. When I was going through stuff at work, somebody had me. When I lost my baby, somebody had me. When I was going through my divorce, somebody had me. There is nothing that you have experienced that somebody in your circle can't testify to, minister to, just give you great advice on how to succeed and how to move. It I just, guys, I don't know how another way to put it. Like, nothing is that bad that you have to take your life. And that is coming from somebody who in her 20s was getting ready to take the pills and end her life. Nothing is that bad. And I know it seems like it is, and it seems like the world is coming to an end, and it seems like there is no out, and it seems like nothing is ever going to go the way you want it to go. But I'm telling you, it's not that bad where you have to end it. And for those of you who blame yourselves for your loved one taking their lives, please don't blame yourself. Your loved one is at a point, at that time, was at a point where they thought that was the answer to the problem that was occurring. So it's not your fault. And please forgive yourself for thinking it's your fault. And then for those out here who just don't understand what this whole conversation is about, and for those who just don't get that people deal with grief differently, stop telling folks you understand when you know you don't. And stop telling people how to grieve. Grief comes in waves, grief comes in cycles. Grief affects and impacts people very differently. Very differently. There is no wrong or right way to grieve. People have to allow themselves the space and the time to heal in the manner that they have to heal. Um, People are logging in. So, hello, Sigma Dallas. Hello, Nathan. And hello to the rest of the family. I just really and truly tonight is just all about kind of getting yourself reacclimated. This is the end of the year. We're in the holiday season, and people are. It's the holiday seasons can be tough for people, from Thanksgiving to the end of the year to New Year's. That is a rough time for some people. So give people grace and be there for the people you need to be there for. Um, what else? This has just really been on my heart. Like, I don't know why things happen the way they happen. I don't know why things just kind of snowball into what happens. But just know Um, there's always a silver lining, even when it feels like there is no silver lining. There's always another way. There is always an alternative to what you think is the end. Speaking from experience, when I was at my lowest of lows, after I graduated from college, I had my own apartment. I thought I was doing big things. Um, I had been home for almost a year, couldn't find a job. And, I went to school because that's what you do. You go to school, you get your degree, then you go apply for these wonderful corporate jobs. And I came back from school and nobody would hire me. But I had the degree and I didn't understand why nobody would hire me. I didn't get it. Um, and then the student loans were kicking in and I wasn't making enough money and then life was lifing and me and the boyfriend broke up and then I lost a whole bunch of family members and I just could not deal with the amount of loss. And people grieve from all kind of losses. It's not just people dying. Loss is loss. You grieve in ways that people don't even realize that they're grieving. So when I was in my 20s, I'm thinking, okay, the world is coming to an end. And so I couldn't really talk to my parents about it. I didn't really have a really good friend that I could talk to at that time. I didn't know which way to turn. I didn't even think to talk to my godparents. Um, didn't even think to talk to the one mentor I had at the time. And so my drop back was, well, if I can't figure this out myself, then it must be time for me to go. If I can't figure out how to get a better job, if I can't figure out how to pay these bills, if I can't figure out how the student loan debt is going to get paid, it'll be easier for me to just leave because ain't nobody going to miss me no way. That was my mentality. And in that moment, I really did think ending my life would be the easiest way to solve everything, not understanding the repercussions that come after someone um, leaves this earth in that manner. And I will also tell y'all that I had experienced the loss of a person to suicide prior to that moment. So it wasn't like I was not aware of what happens in the aftermath. Um, but in that moment in my 20s, I really felt like that's what would solve the problem. If y'all have thoughts, just put them in the comments and we'll go through the thoughts. But I mean, when you're in a bad, low place and you're not even practicing your own self motivation and pouring into yourself, it just gets bad. It just gets to the point where nobody feels like they're going to win. You can't see your way out of that. A friend of mine asked me what stopped me from taking my life. And all I could tell them was it wasn't nothing but God. Like I'm sitting there with the alcohol and the Tylenol in my hand, and I had the whole bottle of Tylenol in my hand. Um, and I'm sitting there and I'm about to start taking the pills, and I can't even tell y'all what happened. The next thing I know, I woke up the next morning and the pills were on the floor. Like, I don't even know how I got from the table. I don't know how, I don't know. The drink was still sitting on the table, the pills were on the floor, and I woke up from my bed. So I don't know. All I can tell y'all is it was God. It wasn't meant for me to do that. Um, and I guess God had answered the prayer because I'm still here. 30 years later, I'm still here, almost 30 years later. Um, I don't know. So I had to tell my friend it wasn't anything but God. The other thing I will tell you is you have to know that you're here for a reason. And there are people who need your presence on this earth. Um, and so when that happened, it changed my perspective. Like I started to understand that I was put here for a reason. Because any other time, um, I would have just been like, okay, uh, any other problem, I would have researched it, tried to figure out what's going on, and I would have fixed it. But when it was my problem, I couldn't do that. So um, it just is what it is, and it was what it was. But had I not gone through that low period, had I not gone through all of those losses at the same time, had I not gone through the amount of pressure that was weighing on me, I would not be able to tell you almost 30 years later what that feeling is like. Um, when the death was announced from the village last week, it hit me like a ton of bricks. And it hit me in such a manner because I'm looking at this sweet boy who had his whole life in front of him, but he felt so low and he felt like that was the only answer to something that was not even a permanent issue. Y'all, please talk to your young men. And I'm saying this to everybody, but in particular, if you are African American, Black American, whatever you want to be called, it is okay for you to reach out for help. It is okay to talk to somebody. It is okay to seek counseling. It is okay to have wise counsel. Talk to someone before you make the decision that you're going to end it all. Because I promise you, somebody has been where you are. Somebody could speak to that pain. Somebody can speak to that need. Somebody can speak to how they've managed to get out of that. And the other thing about having this death occur the way it occurred, the healing that is going to come from that for the family members and the friends that that person was attached to, it's a wake up call. Everybody experiences some sort of low that is that low in life. I promise you, you are not exempt. You are not the only one. And we just need to get back into the habit of checking on our people, checking on our loved ones, checking on each other, making sure we good. And if your person is not looking good, or you know that they not good and you know that they not in a good place, don't just let that slide. Check on them. And I know they gonna tell you they okay, but if you know that they not okay because you have that kind of connection with that person, check on them and make sure that they good. And surprisingly enough, sometimes your presence is all that is needed. Don't be judgmental. Don't try to fix everything, but be there honestly and listen to what is needed. Listen to what they're going through. Listen without judgment. Don't try to be Captain Save 'em. Um, because everything is not for you to fix. Sometimes your presence is what is needed. Your presence is what is needed because that person needs to know that they are not in it alone. They're not by themselves. Everything is good. Um, Angela, I'm gonna put you on the spot again. You said you've been at your lowest.
I
What?
don't know if it's been my lowest. I don't know if it's my
I
lowest
mean,
yet.
but like low.
I've been way low.
What was the catalyst that turned it for you? What made you see that it was gonna be okay?
Oof. I don't know. I don't know if I'm quite there yet, but I think self love is one of the biggest eye openers.
Mm,
Specifically has done great things. So
See, I understand that. I get that.
yeah, getting on the whole fitness journey, like working out and like meal planning and like you know
Do
doing the
you
whole food weighing and stuff. That stuff helped a lot.
do you think it gave you a sense of purpose in that moment?
It gave me the purpose, kind of. Not, I don't know if it's like sense of purpose, but more of
Mm-hmm.
like the proof that I still had enough fight in me to do something for myself.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It was like the proof that like I'm still getting up. I'm tired. I'm sore. I miss eating fast food. I miss eating certain things, but I'm
Right.
still doing it. I'm still trying. I'm still like putting in that fight. You know, I haven't given up yet, I guess.
I got you. And so, but I'm glad you said self love because I think that's the other missing piece. I think that's why we allow ourselves to get into such a low spot because we don't realize that, or we don't understand that it's okay to love ourselves. Like this whole movement about self love and self care and taking time to devote to you is not that it's anything new, but when I was growing up, nobody told us to take care of ourselves like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, we were taught you go to school, you go to work, you take care of your family, you do what you got to do. Nobody said, oh, but Adrian, in the meantime, you need to make sure that you love yourself, that you have self worth, that you're, paying attention to your mental health, that you're paying attention to your physical health,
Yeah.
that you, nobody told me that. Like, that's not always understood.
Yep.
And so I'm glad you talked about self love because to me, as you start learning that it's okay to value yourself, love yourself, protect yourself, work on yourself, then that helps you in those moments where you dip into a low season because then you can reflect back on, well, it was tough when I did blah, 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 blah. But I still had the fight in me to
Yeah.
get up and go to the gym, to get up and start something new. And you preaching to the choir because I remember when I was on my weight loss journey, I was just like, oh, Jesus. Like, how did I get here?
Yeah.
But it's a journey, it's a step. And the more that I poured into getting up and going to the gym and getting up and going for my 3 mile walks and getting up and meal prepping, the more I understood the importance of, oh, I do have to show love to myself.
Yeah.
I do have to be there for myself. I do have to make sure that I take time out to devote to my care of my physical body because you only get one body. Like if my heart go out, I'm gone. If the legs give out, I'm gonna be in trouble. Like if the arms give out, I'm gonna be in trouble because how am I gonna clean myself? How am I gonna do my hair? How am I if I can't walk or use my legs, how am I gonna drive? How do I get around? Like you don't even you don't really think about how your self love
Yeah.
impacts everything else. And then as I think back on that part of my 20s, I wasn't thinking about um, loving myself.
Yeah.
I was too busy focused on, well, y'all told me to go get a job and y'all told me to go to school and y'all told me if I got this 4 year degree. And I actually had more than a 4 year degree. I had a bachelor's degree first, and then I went to school again and got an associate's degree so I could be a paralegal, and I still couldn't get a good job. Like, and that when you in your early 20s and you've done all of this stuff that they tell you to do and nothing is panning out, you like,
Yeah.
what in the world? Why did y'all even put me through all this? Um, and so in my mind, I was too busy focused on getting the money and I was not focused on loving me and loving myself and getting myself together and just so I'm so glad you brought that up. Thank you.
Yeah. Of course.
Self love. Y'all, self-love is important, and it is okay for you to be selfish when it comes to you, so you can do the things that you need to do. But you have to know your value, you have to know your worth, and you have to take the time out to practice the self love for yourself. Like, you have to take time out for yourself, whether that's going to the gym, whether that's sitting down and reading your Bible, whether that's sitting down and reading a good book, whether it's you taking time out to just go meditate and ground yourself in the grass. Like, we've been talking about that when we talk about wellness and spirituality and just staying connected to something. And I'm not trying to convert nobody to Christianity. If you Buddhist, if you whatever your spiritual practice is, please, please, please devote time to yourself. Um, I am Christian. If y'all don't get that yet, I'm a Christian. I believe in God, and I know that the reason I didn't take my life was because God intervened. And I just told you, I don't even know how I got in my bedroom, because I went from the pills and the glass being in my hands to the pills were on the floor, and I woke up in my bed. So I never even took a pill, because the Tylenol 3 was right there. Like, it was right there. So I never even took them. All of the pills were there. Um, so sometimes you have to rely on knowing that things are just going to be okay. I was speaking to one of my friends tonight, and uh she was just like, sis, I'm so proud of you. And I was just like, I'm so proud of you too. When life is lifing, sometimes you just have to take a step back, pray and meditate, and just know God got you. And then when those doors start opening up, that's when you start seeing exactly how he was making provision. um I haven't worked since October, but the bills are still paid. I'm still able to come and talk to y'all every week. um, I have not missed a beat. Now, am I going out and splurging like I usually do? No. But the things that need to be taken care of are taken care of. And I had to trust and believe in that moment that God had me and God provided. I start my new job on Monday. And who is excited is me, because it's an industry I've never worked in before. But I am so excited for the new opportunity. Like, and this was one of those moments where um, it could have been a whole lot worse, because the way the job loss came and how my head has been during this whole process. And again, like I said, if y'all only knew what happened from June until now, y'all would still be asking me, like, how are you even functioning? But at the end of the day, even despite me dropping into a low place, God is still God. He is still providing. And I had enough self love to know that I'm still worth it, that I'm still going to go, and things are still going to work out and be what they need to be. Because I just told you, I have not missed a beat. So everything was good. Everything is still good. Everything is going to be good. And just back to this message of, it's okay not to be okay. Life is not perfect. Nobody promised us perfection. Nobody promised us a road that was going to be just easy. Nobody promised us that we wouldn't have no issues. If Jesus Christ had issues, why do you think it's going to be easy for you? And he was betrayed by the people he trusted most. Well, one of the people he trusted most. So if that happened to Jesus, what make you think you supposed to be walking this earth and everything is going to be easy? You have to have faith that your life is going to be okay. Not that it's going to be easy, but you're going to be okay. Everything works out. So, we finna get out of here. We finna get out of here. But again, y'all, it's okay not to be okay. Open your mouth and say something to someone in your village when you're feeling that low. Know that you're not the only person experiencing whatever the low is that you're experiencing. Somebody can speak to your situation. And with that, Angelo, thank you.
Of course.
I guess I'll see you next week too.
Yeah.
Hopefully. So, guys, we'll be back same time next week. Peace out.